Hi everybody, this is Anna Chaos for another Anna Chaos Fitness, and today I want to talk about my Whole30 diet. I know that recently I'm speaking a lot that I am currently back on the Whole30. Back when I was 260 pounds, me and my original fitness partner, he introduced me to clean eating. At the time, I didn't know what clean eating was. I kept thinking it was like, well, if I eat all these diet products like, what's that called, the Atkins diet and all the low fat stuff, because that was kind of eating clean as long as I wasn't having a cheeseburger and stuff like that. So I come to learn through my friend and through the internet doing some research what real clean eating was. And it's a misconception that everybody has if they don't know a lot about nutrition and stuff, which let's face it, most of us don't. All we know is that silly little pyramid or that plate that they have now in the, health.gov thing. But people really don't know about nutrition. They know we're supposed to eat meat and vegetables and then some grains and some sugars, but like it seems that what we should be eating, we have it backwards. We should be eating a lot of fruits, well, a lot of vegetables, and then followed by some meat, and at the bottom should be like grain and then some sugar and obviously fats and stuff. So we kind of flip it backwards. We think the other way. So the thing that I got started on, my first real nutritional like reboot was the Whole30. Now the first time I did it, it was a miserable experience, horrible, because I went from eating like yogurt and then like little granola bars and eating cheese and all kinds of the stuff that you have to eat in moderation, and then suddenly I was not allowed to eat it in the Whole30. Not to mention that I had to read all the ingredients and everything that I was consuming, and I had to try to get it as organic as possible. So it was a major shift mentally how I thought about my food and what I put in my body. It actually forced me to do some research on some of the actual ingredients that went into the food I was eating. So if you guys do not know the Whole30, you're pretty much just eating non-processed and as organic as possible. However, I will tell you from my personal experience, if you could try to get organic at a decent price, that's great. But if you eat non-organic, you'll be okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You cannot find it everywhere. And let's face it, if you're on a budget, it's just really hard to get everything organic. So what is the rule to Whole30? The first one is do not consume, this is taken from the Whole30 website, you can check it out. Do not consume added sugars or any kind of real artificial. So means no Splenda, nothing with saccharin, none of those crystal packets that you like to drink, none of that. The only sweetener you're really allowed to have is honey. So honey is awesome. It's also really good on your immune system. For example, if you like me where you have to like just move around between states, a good way to get past the allergies is to start eating some of the locally grown honey. So it's really good. It's a great sweetener. However, keep in mind it is sugar. So like I think it's like a tablespoon of it has 17 grams of carbs. So you have to eat it in moderation. So if you're one of those people who like to drink it with your tea and you can't figure out why you're not losing weight, it's because you're probably eating a lot of carbohydrates that you're not realizing that you're drinking. So keep that in mind. Do not consume alcohol of any form, not even for cooking. No alcohol, no beer, no hard liquor, no wine, no nothing. Nada. No. Alright, do not eat grains. Well, mainly because a lot of the grains today have been processed. A lot of stuff on breads and pastas and all that stuff. Even rice. Yes, rice is processed, believe it or not. You read the ingredients to say rice, but they don't tell you about the process that they put the rice through, the bleach and stuff they have to put it through. Alright, do not eat any legumes. Now obviously, like mainly like red beans and stuff, you don't want to eat those, but the green stuff, the green beans are actually really good for you. So anything green, you can eat as much as you want, just do not eat like the rest of the other beans and stuff. Do not eat dairy. Dairy is obviously processed. So do not, no yogurt. Sorry ladies, no yogurt. No milk, so you're going to have to switch to either almond milk, coconut milk, or cashew milk, some of the other ones. So do not drink milk or no milk at all. No cheese. I know, no cheese. I like cheese. Isn't that terrible? And, but yeah, no dairy at all because it is a processed product. The other one is do not consume any MSGs or any like a lot of salt. So if you use a lot of like off the shelf like spices, like I love Weber seasoning. And I love some of the stuff I could buy at the supermarket, but you start reading the ingredients, it says added artificial flavors on it. but they don't really tell you what artificial flavors are. And if you actually you start doing some research through like the Department of Food and Drug Administration, and you do a research of what artificial flavors is, it's like a really long, ridiculous document of what that artificial flavoring could be. So keep that in mind. Try to keep your seasonings really simple. I usually keep mine to like sea salt because sea salt is better than your iodized. It's very potent for very little amounts of it. And then the other thing that you'll also see is ground pepper. If you can get the ingredients as fresh as possible, that works out perfect. Alright, but try to stay away from those like pre-made seasonings. They do put a lot of added sugars and preservatives and stuff on it that, it does mess with your body. The other thing, and this is a big one, guys, even though they give you a list of products that you can't eat within the diet, do not try to create junk food out of it. And I know, and you go online to like bodybuilder.com, it's like, create protein pancakes. Oh yeah, create protein cookies. I've been guilty of it. I make my protein power energy balls, but, at the end of the day, you are making junk food with approved items. So try to stay away from those. Now, you guys at this point, you're probably scratching your head. You're going, that sounds terrible. I might as well just stay fat. But you know what? Yeah, the first week, you might end up getting headaches. You feel awful. You feel drained because you're not getting your energy from simple carbohydrates. You're not getting it from complex carbohydrates. But then within like a week or two, you start feeling like your body feels a lot different and it feels a lot better. I'm right now currently on day 11 of my 60 days. I'm not doing the 30 days. You can do up to 60 days. It is actually unsustainable. Once the 60 days goes through, I'm going to be shifting back to my paleo diet. And so far, I've already dropped from 173 to 163, so it's been 10 pounds in 11 days. The main reason for that in my body is because I do work out twice a day. Alright, I will let you know that I do work out twice a day. I do an hour of weightlifting in the morning and about anywhere between 20 to 40 minutes of cardio in the afternoon. And a lot of what's coming out of my system is salt and water and a bunch of crap that is coming out of my system. So I'm pretty sure here within a week, it will start pretty much steadying off, so the weight will not be coming off as fast, and you should do it the way it should be. So, but for the most part, I personally recommend this diet. It's going to be really tough, and keep in mind there are no cheat meals. Or, people say it's cheat day. No, it is a cheat meal. You cheating your day, you're done. Unless you pretty much just ran like, you walk for 25 miles with 50 pounds in your back or something crazy like that. There's no such thing as a cheat day. It's a cheat meal. But for the most part, if you screw up, you have to start at zero again. So that is the hardest part. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you how to think of your food. It forces you to really cook your food again and get into the habit of eating in and knowing what goes into your food. When you go into restaurants, and this is something that even I learned when I first started, I used to love going to Applebee's and all those and get their salads. And then once I started doing like diets like this, I started doing more research on what I was eating and the amount of sodium. You're like, oh, it's a little chicken patty, and some of those patties have like 1,000 milligrams of sodium. That is a lot of sodium. And so, you gotta keep in mind, just because it looks healthy doesn't mean it is healthy. Because by the time you have a salad or the vegetables on it, that's great. You got the dressing, that's 100 calories. You got the cheese, that's 100 calories. You got the walnuts, that's about 200 calories. You got strawberries, there's carbohydrates in there. You have, you keep adding onto it. By the time you're done from what you thought was a 200-300 calorie salad to almost an 800 calorie salad. You might as well have the burger at that point. Just saying. So, but yeah, but for the most part, if you just want to try Whole30, I would highly recommend it. If you screw up, it's okay. Just scrub yourself off and then start all over again. And you'll see that after a while it becomes easier and easier and easier. As for me, I've been eating pretty clean for about a year and a half now. Every so often, I kind of get sluggish and I just kind of let stuff come back into my diet. But then I kind of snap back into it and I'm okay. So this time around, I'm doing the Whole30. I'm being very rigid with it. But it doesn't bother me because I'm already used to cooking a lot of my own food. I'm already used to disciplining myself. Hey, I don't need that candy bar. I don't need that beer. I don't need it. Because I have a bigger goal in my head. And once you try it and you stuck with it and you see how much better your body feels, you're going to see the difference. But anyway, guys, this is Anna Khayos from another Anna Khayos Fitness. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Tumblr. I am also on YouTube, as you can see. I am also on MyFitnessPal and Bodybuilder.com. You want to be friends? I have over 700 friends on Bodybuilder.com, so please come and join me. And do not forget about my GoFundMe donation. As I said, I've had surgery and it was not cheap, so you want to donate $1 or $2, please be free. I appreciate it. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. You take care. Bye bye.